Welcome back to 7CR. We are recording on 3/19/2021. Trials is live. And it didn't go down in the first day. It's a miracle, guys. Did Santa come? Knock on wood.
It didn't go down in the first day last weekend either.
It did. That's right. It did take one day.
It was after I planned on farming hammers that it was like, oops, sorry.
It's your fault. That's what it is.
Yes,
100%. Got it. Cool. So you already got a hammer. What did you get?
I have 3 hammers. Okay.
All right.
I have 2 rapid hit. Actually, no, I have 2 left. I deleted 1. I had 2 rapid hit rampage ones. I now have 1, and then the other one is quick draw snapshot.
Can I get? Yeah, I can get snapshot on the bottom.
Yes.
I feel like the rampage would be better than snapshot.
So feel wise,
3 actually. Yeah.
Feel wise, the quick draw snapshot feels great. I wish the masterwork was a little bit different. I think it came with handling, which is obviously redundant with quick draw. But it feels very smooth. Not that the rapid hit rampage roll doesn't, but it's just very snappy, very smooth gun to use. I do like my rapid hit rampage roll though.
Chance and I are going to be stepping into the breach tonight and be getting ours. How does it compare to bottom dollar?
I don't know what to compare it to. It honestly feels like a Soros hand cannon, right? Like
kick straight up.
I think it does actually. I think it has like 95 or 100 recoil or something like that. Hang on. I mean, just feel wise in general. The sight on it isn't bad at all. Actually, it's very minimalist. It's not like overbearing like the Astral was.
Which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, it's basically just the 2 little things and then the dot, and then you can see the Osiris symbol below that, and it doesn't really get in the way. It's not overly bulky. I was kind of concerned with looking at the gun model that it was going to be a little bit of a screen hog. I forget if Thorn in D1 or D2.
It almost reminds me of Annual Skate with some Osiris stuff attached to the sides.
Yeah.
And Annual Skate is like Nature of the Beast, so
I like it. I think feel wise, bottom dollar is going to feel a bit better to a lot of people. Not just because it's easily accessible, but I mean you're almost, I shouldn't say guaranteed, but it's going to be a lot easier to get a good hammer than it is a good bottom dollar.
There's less perks. You don't have to,
and not only less perks, but the perk, it's not like there's a bunch of junk perks in there.
I was about to say the whole first column's solid, and then the second column,
the last column's great too. Really, I mean, other than
there's only 2 that are questionable in the last column.
Celerity,
one for all,
one for all, and celerity. I mean, that's.
Well, speaking of celerity, we saw some stuff this week that celerity is actually, if you get it on a sniper or another gun that's got is your go-to when you're the last man standing, it actually, especially on snipers, it basically makes snipers like the way they were before, where you could aim for the body, and when you get flinched, you're going to flinch up to the head.
Yeah. I still think it should be intrinsic, personally, but
Agreed.
It is a very good perk. I think it's underrated. Yeah. So when I look at guns from trials, and obviously celerity is a good perk. We just kind of discussed it and I agree with it, but at the same time, I don't want to just use it in trials. You know what I mean? I want to be able to use it.
Want it to be viable elsewhere too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, celerity's cool, but trials is only Friday through Monday. I mean, the rest of the week, if I want to be able to use it other places. You're never going to be able to use it in Iron Banner, which is coming up, I think, next week.
And if you
So,
are
like, you know
using
what I
an
mean?
Iron Banner, it's because you're getting farmed.
Yeah, if you're the last member of your fire team, you should probably just exit to orbit. I'm just saying. But
Sorry, fellas, you're on your own.
yeah, I would just be like, well, no, unplug the internet. I'm done. But yeah,
Bye.
like I still think it should be intrinsic. It's not. It's so situational that yeah, it's a very strong perk, but it's so situational that does it really matter if it's
It's
that
almost like
strong?
make
It's
it a
intrinsic?
mod. Make it something like that. It's intrinsic on adept weapons or something, so that way you can actually have perks on
That's
it
what should
that you
happen.
do want. Well,
That's exactly what should happen.
We can talk
But-
all day about things we want to change in trials. In fact, I think that's what we're going to end up doing today. We've scoured the internet and we've found a list of things that people are talking to change in trials, and we're going to pick it apart and say what we think. Yay, nay.
All right.
And
right.
just kind of go from there. It's going to be a trials episode.
Again.
Well, I mean, the reason why trials ends up being
It's
such a
so
prevalent topic
important.
is so
It's a
busted
hot
right
topic.
now.
It's
Yeah.
really vital to PvP. I mean, even think about when we didn't have it. Yeah, we all PvP'd, I'm sure, but
We weren't happy about it.
it's still yeah. It felt, I don't know, it felt empty, kind of,
It did make Iron Banner all the more special when Iron Banner came around.
Yeah. I still have problems with that. I have a list of things I'd love to change there too, but the starting with why doesn't
You and your list.
Mr. I mean, why does Saladin not have the new vendor setup? But yeah, I don't understand how you can. Yeah, I don't understand how you could push.
And
Iron Banner
considering
as
the characters we play, you think the Titan would be the ragey one. No, it's the Hunter. So much rage packed into a small little man.
we a little light, a little dark. I've been playing a little Titan this week. No, but you know what I mean. I don't know if they still advertise it that way, but Iron Banner was technically I would almost say end game PvP, not necessarily trials, but in D1, you could get, etheric light when it was a thing, for example. Why can't I get things that are considered I don't know, end game rewards from Iron Banner, at all?
Yeah.
No prisms, no shards, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Save my rant for later.
So, first thing on the list, what you got?
I actually, you didn't send it over.
Episode planning.
Oh, maybe I missed it. I'm sorry.
There we go.
That's my fault. All right. Let's see. Connection-based matchmaking.
All right.
Trying to fight dudes who live and breathe in PvP like a religion is the comment here. It's literally the second comment I see.
Connection based. I'm in between on it because I'm in that area where I'm not bad, but I'm not god tier. So my matches are thrown in between the two all the time. They go by skill based. So it just depends. Connection based, where I'm at, I don't get connected with the best people anyway. So, what was it? In because most game modes right now are connection based, right? Am I wrong?
The only things that are skill based, Iron Banner freelance.
That explains why freelance is a sweatfest.
Uses skill based. That's why everyone's like, "This is so sweaty this season." It just changed with Season of the Chosen, I believe.
So you're
I don't
playing
think it
people
was
gear
on
tier.
release.
That explains a lot. I never even noticed that. You think I'd pay attention, but nope. Just queue up. Let's go.
I only noticed it. I don't know. I think like midway through last Iron Banner or something. I was like, oh, huh. And then I just went back to playing sixes in normal Iron Banner because I didn't like freelance anyway.
Um,
But anyway,
it could be good, it could be bad. Like this one I can be for or against easily.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of indifferent to it, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like regardless, no matter what I do, I'll be fine. But that's just because, like, that's me. And I'm above average at like Crucible and whatnot. I can just go in and either contend with people who are like mad sweaty or fight people who are not sweaty and be fine. But I think it'd be healthier if it was connection based as opposed to skill. Well, I mean, I don't know, because like you don't want like teams of like sweats stomping on people, right? Like you don't want that. But also, like I feel like connection based matters more.
I wonder if it would be possible to make it where,
it's obviously. So,
like, what if they could make it where party size after a certain limit flops between connection and skill. So, like, if you get a party of skill base of 6 people going to try and curb stomp people in a connection based lobby, it'll flop them over to a skill based lobby.
Game would probably explode. Just saying.
Fates is a little gloom and doom when it comes to anything to do with the code. He's like,
I mean,
so
they were like, look what just happened with Trials. They're like, oh, we fixed it. Oh wait, never mind. It didn't fix anything. I'm a little skeptical because I wish Bungie would have like built the game on like I don't know an industry standard type of engine instead of Frankensteining their own. But that is what it is.
Dedicated service, like
facts. I was aboard. I was aboard the train of ending D2. Give me D3. I'll pay for it. I don't care. Just give me dedicated fucking servers. That was my.
Really.
That was when the whole discussion, like pre-Shadowkeep, was going around. Me and Timber used to argue about it. I was like, I don't care. I just want dedicated servers. I'm tired of things like shooting through walls
with the GME money,
or like bullets curving around corners and dying. Like it's.
I watched Wanted. I know what to do now. I know how to do that.
On that topic, that is why Trials should be connection based. Anything to lessen bullets going around corners and like dying when I'm clearly in cover or like killing somebody when he's clearly in cover should not be a thing. I don't care if I have to face Frostbolt 3 times in a row or like Grenader Jake or any of these great PvPers. Don't care as long as I can reset the card and move on with my life because I can't stand like being in cover and the game being like, no, you died. Sorry. That's it. You're done.
Speaking of resetting the card, that can easily take us to our next one. The one I saw was where they were talking about taking the card, still having the flawless chest at the end to get a adept weapon guaranteed, but being able to go to the lighthouse on a card of 7 wins. So the way it would work, you play your card. Losses still count towards your flawless. If you get 3, it's like a guaranteed no flawless. But the way they said it was like if you get to the 7 wins, and you have like 1 or 2 losses on your card, you still have a chance at the adept one. But for each loss, it decreases your chance of it. So like your best the guaranteed, go flawless. Adept weapon out of the chest. You get there on 2 losses or 1 loss. You still have a chance, but it's not a guarantee. And then so on and so on. And they already could use stuff that they're coding into the game right now with the way raid chests work for the raid exotic the more times you run it, the more chances you have. You can make
I
it.
lost protection.
Yeah, they could basically use that same coding for this, so they really wouldn't have to change anything, and people would be encouraged to keep their card going, and you would then you could have the connection based and also double up on and go card based too a little bit. So like connection first, it finds you a good connection, then out of your pool of connection, you will play. If you have 2 wins, you'll play people that have 2 wins.
Um,
I like it. Like I'm down with it.
I'm not interested in it. Just because adept weapons don't do anything right now. They're like you get the adept mods, but like there's not, like there's nothing like. Yeah, having like an adept hammer with like Icarus would be great. Do I need it though? Yeah.
The purpose of this change wouldn't be so much to give people more adept weapons as it would be to get people to continue playing their card so that the different win levels will have players playing at it. Because as it is right now,
I think
people are resetting as soon as they get their first loss because it's like, oh well, I can't get flawless on this. There's no reason for me to continue on. So that 5 win to 7 win gap has very few people playing it. So it's a sweat fest.
I think if you made the 7th win, and I don't even think you have to offer up adept weapons. I think just in general, if you made that 7th win a little bit more worth it, because I mean, like the week where the sword was the 7th win, but not flawless. We hit 7 on a card. I think we started out 5-0, and lost 3, and we were just like, we'll finish out the card. Or no, we didn't lose 3 in a row, but we lost 3 along the way, and hit 7. But we lost 2. I lie. I think that 7th win needs to have a little bit more to it. So like right now, what do you get? You get the only way to get like prisms out of trials is to go flawless, right? Out of the chest. Yep. So why isn't there just like, I don't know, why not stack up a little bit more on the back end of the card for the 5 wins, the 7 wins? And I'm not saying you have to give out prisms like they're candy or anything like that, but like why not? I don't know.
I mean, controversially, when you think about it, look how easy it is to get prisms right now by putting a mod on your ghost and just get some headshots.
Or not prisms, but
shards,
golf balls. I always get them confused. But you know what I mean, like things I don't need. If you made adept weapons more interesting, I would be on board with it. Like I'm not like, if they did that, my reaction would probably be like, okay, cool. Because I just don't care about adept weapons as much.
So the idea itself is good, but for you personally, you're just like, no, it wouldn't keep me playing the card because I really don't care about adept weapons.
Exactly. I would prefer if that was what they presented, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, adept weapons now have celerity intrinsic to like all of them. I'd be like, oh okay, sure, let's go, because like you're at least giving me something desirable
that I couldn't get later on from 3 wins if I'm patient.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. I could get behind that.
I feel
just
like
in a current.
It should just be like sprinkled throughout the card. I mean, obviously adepts you can keep in the flawless chest, but like you're saying, shards should have a chance to drop with each win or with each game played.
35
I also feel like, like literally, like just have dropped that stuff earlier on. That gives you even PvE players playing, because it's like, hey, we're not maybe like the best in PvP, but we can farm out the card for some shards.
IBC double primaries everywhere. Bring it.
Literally. And then on top of that, I don't know if I would do the matchmaking system the way you said it, because like what we have right now, right? It's like it's supposed to be like, if you get 3 wins, you match somebody who's got 3 wins. You get like 4 wins, you match someone with 4 wins, etc., etc. It's supposed to be like that, but because the player population is so low, you're pretty much only fighting sweats in there. And I would just put it like how it was in D1, like make it connection based, and boom, Like you put up your chances of finding people would be random, and it would give more people who like aren't necessarily the best like better chance to go in there and get something. I think it'd be a better time.
I can agree to that, but at the same time, I'm thinking connection based without having changes to increase player pop. But that by itself, well, I mean, I guess what we should, I mean, with the way we can look at all of these is single one of these things is going to be what will help trials. It's going to have to be a combination of everything all the time. So, yeah,
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should make if we're judging these things, we should judge it off of a hypothetical, almost like if some of these, like we're obviously going to have to sit and say, okay, like this is going to work if the population's healthy, if the rewards are worth it.
Okay, there we go. That's fair.
Versus just like.
Alrighty, so connection based. If the population's healthy, totally fine. If it's not, you could be unlucky and be in an area where there's only sweats. That would suck. But what else you got? Let's go on to the next one.
All right. I don't know what this person means by cards never break.
I think that one's the one I saw.
It's this person says cards never break. Flawless is still only flawless. Cosmetic rewards over at depth weapons. I don't understand half of this. Armor is never a flawless reward. I can kind of agree with that. Unless that armor is a guaranteed like.
Give me a 70 stat piece of armor for
give me like give me like like a 65 rolled stat piece of armor where like the stat breakdown is in 2 columns.
70 stat armor, 10 stats for every win that you got along the way, guaranteed.
I mean, it would be kind of cool. I mean, I'd be happy if they even just said 65.
That with that guy, because I remember reading this thread before I sent it to y'all. That was the one that he said never break. So your 3 wins only means whether you're going to be able to open that flawless chest or not. You can play till 7 wins and still get to the lighthouse and open a chest and have a chance of getting something. Your cosmetics also being able to be gotten out of the flawless chest, not as random drops from stuff. Which would incentivize people playing to flawless if they really want the cosmetic.
So, this guy or this person is suggesting skill-based matchmaking of some sort. I honestly, they just don't want to play sweats, but in reality, what's going to happen is it's just going to make every match a sweat fest.
Funny.
Because
people don't enjoy
your level. If you're playing people your level, it's going to be a sweat because that's your skill level. If you're playing people that are good, you're going to get stomped.
Yeah, I mean, I preferred connection based from D1. Like I said, I mean, I even played PlayStation where some of the original guys were, on anyway. So it just, I don't know. I'm not bothered by it. I prefer connection anyway. Non-expiring tokens. I could agree with that. It is annoying, to see tokens expire.
Yep.
That I'm a fan of the token system at all, but
I feel like if they were going to code stuff to make it where people could get to the lighthouse off their flawless card, even though trials is shut down and whatnot, they should have coded it that the weekends that they took it down, the people that had tokens were able to keep them at least.
Yeah,
because I would have had about 30 tokens right now that I would be happy to use. But no.
Bounty for 5 wins. This I 100% agree with. I'm pretty sure in D1 there was a bounty for 3 and 5. Yeah, so like even that, you're at least getting something, right? Like the armor pieces for trials, both seasons have been, fairly desirable. I would say I like this season's and I like the original set. So I could agree with that. Unlimited card losses for non-flawless progression. It's basically
you can keep playing and
just
playing.
Keep carding. Yep.
If you get 7 wins, it lets you open another chest at the lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be that wouldn't be bad because that would keep people playing.
I mean, actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Because as it is right now, what happens with teams, and Chance and I can vouch for this, because we play with our clan. We have our main team, Team Nova Fist, and we play trials every week. Like if it's there and there's loot we want, we're there. We play, we get our wins or whatever we're going for. Then we turn around and me and Chance will grab one member of our clan at a time and get them their 3 wins and bounty. And we've done that for the past since Season of the Chosen, right?
Yep.
And Chance and I aren't. Well, Chance is definitely the best PvPer we have in our clan. I'm one of the ones after, so we can do it. And what ends up happening, it gets tough, and people get bent out of shape. They get upset, and then it's just a downhill spiral from there. If they were playing it and knowing that, hey, all we gotta do is get wins. It doesn't care how long, whatever. The people we'd be playing this with would be more likely to want to get past just get 3 wins in the bounty and done, and then I'm out. They would actually be like, hey, let's keep going and see if we can get that couple more wins for the 5. Granted, it would make mine and Chance's lives way more busier on the weekend because everybody would be wanting to keep playing till the 7.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one. I don't mind trashing cards. I don't, and usually if there's a reward I want, I'll play, till I get the reward, and then it just becomes farm. But I know I'm not everyone, so if they did it again, I like, okay, cool. It's like one of those things that like doesn't excite me, but I could see why it would excite some other people who are a little less, PvP inclined, I guess, or even just a little bit more ragey than I am. So they could just kind of keep going. I'm just like, you know what? I get angry in the moment, and then I'm just like, all right, let's go. Let's move on. It's over.
I get tilted, and I have to step away. Like, okay, I'm going to go make coffee. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go listen to some meditation music. No, I'm kidding. I get tilted, and then I lose focus. And considering I lose focus, like, that dog in Up? Squirrel! Me. Right here. That is me. So having that messes me up. And on the flip side, us doing really well makes me lose focus, because then I start pulling dumb shit.
You got like coffee, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about that when we talked about our Tilted episode, that Tilt is a pain. You get that game focus on.
I learned, I probably, like most of, like the two of you, I don't know if you guys played COD as kids. Grew up in COD lobbies, so
I did, but I laughed at those because people were dumb.
I was a real ragey kid. Like I never broke anything, but my joysticks were definitely loose from throwing my controller. So
I've never had that. Okay, I probably would have if my parents weren't the way they were. My parents,
so my
were
joysticks.
Strict as hell.
I didn't. So those old like PlayStation 3 controllers with like the original PlayStation, I'm pretty sure, like the original PlayStation 3, pretty sure it could have like withstood a nuclear blast. So like my joysticks,
they were the Nokia of controllers.
My joystick, not the right one, but the left one, just from use and throwing it at the ground, used to get like, it would just stay like this, just up. So I'd have to like pull it out and like push it down, and not like stuck, but like enough that like it would try to make me run forward all the time. Nice. But yeah, no, I learned a while ago that like, yeah, I rage, but like I try to just, it's only going to make me play worse, is, I try to keep that in mind, and just, I make jokes about it, but that would be my advice to people.
For me, I have like a really high bullshit tolerance, so I can take a lot of punishment and just kind of keep rolling with it. But also, I
think our clan has conditioned you to that.
Oh man, our clan tries so hard to push me over the edge, and a lot of the time I'm just like acting and like playing around like I'm actually pissed off or whatever, because like that's what I'm using with them. But like for the
Yeah.
most part, like I don't really like freak out or whatnot. And if I do
don't-
like actually get mad, it's been a hot minute. Like I me like being pissed off or whatever, or getting tilted.
I mean, with
I
the
don't-
amount of puns we have thrown at you.
Oh,
I don't-
freaking foot.
Yeah, I
oh my god.
I don't freak out. It's just I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this bullshit? And then it's move past it. If it's something extremely bullshitty, I end up just like cracking jokes after the match and stuff, just to kind of
Yeah, that's another
move
thing
past
too.
it.
'Cause, like,
Extremely bullshitty.
Destiny's
That's my
kind
life.
Kind of BS in itself.
It's
I kind of realized
also
a lot of it in the game is BS, so I just
yeah.
cool with it.
It's also something I learned because of streaming. You know, people don't want to sit and watch you be angry. I mean, I guess they kind of do sometimes, but like most people don't want to like just. I shouldn't say want you to be angry. I should say like
They want to
don't
see your
just wanna see
reaction.
you-
If
see
you
you-
show
they don't wanna
emotion,
see
that's
you
what
be
they're
miser-
watching.
they don't want to see you sit and be miserable and just pout, right? Like that's like they don't want you to be a giant man child. Like being angry, I think is fine, but like you know, you got to move past it. Tier system implemented and reset after each weekend. Go flawless. Go up a tier. Increase rewards in each tier. Also shaders, emblems, and ornaments. Ditch token system. Introduce same system as Crucible. Now with rank reset. Awarding adept weapons. Lots of grinding. Each reset, the adept weapon changes, giving more players a reason to play, despite the skill level. Making the player base larger will make it more enjoyable as a whole. Tier system will allow players to improve and get better rather than just getting smashed by 200 plus flawless players. This guy
That will be a
wrote, like,
problem.
whole. I
We
should also
will
add
end
the
up
addition of maps for 3v3 game modes, but then again, any new map would be welcome at this point. Hell yes, give us more new maps. Just gonna throw that out there because I can only play Cauldron for 10 years.
The problem with this is you're incentivizing multiple flawlesses. You already have a problem right now. I can pull up a guy. I have his gamer tag. I can pull him up on Destiny Tracker. And as of this morning at 9 o'clock, or no, not even 9 o'clock. It was like 3 or 4 hours after Trials went live. The man is sitting on 80 flawless cards with 0 kills and a 0 KD. That means he is either A, knocking people offline, or B, he is doing something with his network in connection some way to connect to either somebody or a console he owns to basically match himself, and then when the match starts, on the console he's not using, he leaves the game. And by doing that, he is giving himself flawless loot every week. If that thing went, you will have people doing that just to be able to get a legendary rank or get a rank reset that in a weekend, easily, mind you, and then get their adept weapon, and you'll have people with every adept weapon possible in 1 week, hands down. I'm a little heated by it because every time we've run into how many of these guys? Chance 4, at least
4 so far, yeah, that we know of at least.
Yeah.
I like part of the idea.
All right.
I think the token system needs to go. I like the idea of like getting shaders and emblems and ornaments and stuff. I don't know. It's like I like the effort here, but I think it's just missing the mark a little bit. I don't know. I think people are overthinking trials needing more rewards. It's really what it boils down to, right? Like it's really just.
I feel like the reason for that is the knee-jerk reaction is that the knee-jerk reaction is trials pop is low. Why is low? Well, there's the loot isn't where people are wanting to go. People aren't wanting to play for the loot some weeks. Let's make it where it just rains shit. And it's not so much that. It's more about accessibility to the loot. Like Faith said, that stuff's there.
It should be a bit of both. The fact like we don't have. Where's our trial shaders? Right? Like.
Fine. I need to think about that.
Trial shaders, where are they? Anybody know? I don't.
Aren't they only
We haven't.
step weapons or something like that?
The little Osiris symbols on the old weapons used to change. I think they do on the new ones with the emblems, and you can apply, your normal shaders and stuff to them. But there's no actual. I don't think there's any actual shader.
Right.
I could be wrong. The shaders used to just drop from playing trials in D1, right?
Yep.
Like
you got them every once in a while.
Small things like that. Like, not saying that's going to be like the fix all, but things like that should drop rather often if people don't.
I feel like
them.
it should be, if it's on the gun, it'd be treated like the Iron Banner weapons. When you dismantle the weapons or Iron Banner armor, you get the shader.
I would even take that too. Whatever. I think it needs to exist. I think there should be a flawless ghost, and there should be a non-flawless ghost. There should be a flawless sparrow and a non-flawless sparrow. It's not hard to for them to just add some other things there. Yeah. And I'm not saying those things will fix it, but there should be something. And there should be more loot. Like, it doesn't have to pour, loot from the sky, but I should be able to get have the ability to get loot, and it should not just be terrible. I have yet to actually get a useful piece of Trials armor ever,
and I get all of it.
All of them are awful pieces. I get a 59 statted piece of armor the other day.
Was it at least split good?
No, it was horrible. It was a horrible split, and it was 59 points.
So it's gonna be like my first Igneous Hammer tonight. I'm gonna get the one that's got the shittiest perk in the perk pool, and then I'm gonna get Celerity on it. That or One for All, guaranteed.
Amazing.
I haven't actually seen. I haven't seen actually One for All or Celerity on a hammer yet. And I got a lot last weekend. Actually, it was very consistent with how many I got.
Why don't you?
I'm sorry.
I got a lot. Yeah, I mean, no big deal.
And I also got a lasting impression rocket, but it was missing tracking. But lasting impression on that rocket is insane. Anyway,
it doesn't have tracking. I have to actually aim it. Oh no,
it needs tracking because the amount of times I fired rockets this season only for something to just lazily drift to the left has been stupidly high. But
speaking of lasting impression, I was playing Gambit last night. I gotta tell this story because it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking through the thing.
I got a snipe. I invade. I get a snipe. I'm hiding behind a rock. I see a guy coming. I jump up and fire the rocket. I thought I had the regular rocket, so I just aimed next to him. And then I realized that after that, it's lasting impression. It sticks in the ground. I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm done. He kills me. And then he starts teabagging on top of the rocket as it goes off. Instant karma. He was teabagging me from killing me, even though I already had killed 2 or 3 of his friends. And he got blown up by the lasting impression rocket. Freaking fantastic. Enjoy. Do it.
I like sticking them to people as I die as the invader, because a few seconds later after I end up respawning on my side.
Yeah, you get the relentless invader medal.
It's hilarious. It's just it's very satisfying to do.
Have you gotten a double or a multi-kill because they ran near their friends while doing that?
No, but I got a guy who tried to slide over my head, and I was just like, nope, rocket up the butt. Yeah, I was shooting it at somebody else, my other guns were out, so I was just like, rocket. And it worked, but it was really funny. So people asking for skill-based matchmaking. Again, I don't think people understand that skill-based matchmaking isn't going to be a more enjoyable experience. If you're looking for obtainable loot, it's only going to make it that much harder for people. So this person went on to say, more incentive to go flawless besides Ascendant golf balls and an Adept weapon. maybe adept perks, something like hidden hand or third eye or adept armor.
I'd be down on third eye. Third eye would basically put a targeting acquisition mod on every weapon.
Adept armor would be kind of cool. I would wonder how they'd swing that.
No, wait. Third eye was the radar didn't disappear. Hidden hand was the one that
hidden
was the targeting acquisition.
Yep.
Big brain.
Because we didn't. Yeah. Tokens lasting a month. People asking for tokens on losses again. Post match.
You're gonna have people farming the bottom of the card.
Yeah. Post match drops of armor. That would be good. I think personally, I miss kind of just playing trials and like, you get a win or whatever, you get a loss, whatever, you get something for it at least.
You just want to have a chance at higher and better than that 59.
Yeah. I do. I realize for my perfect hunter build, I need new boots.
Frosties is where it's at.
Come
to the ice side.
I've been using the knife arms. I forget what they're called though. The Atheris Embrace or whatever. Yep.
Yes, I will agree with you. That
I use Backrest for movement.
Backrest, I like it. It's good, but if I'm gonna run stasis, even with the changes coming on the 23rd, I feel like my Frosty build will still be able to slay out.
Probably.
Because I don't use the shurikens for the damage. I use them for the freeze. And that's not changing.
So this person said more tokens for winning and losing. Choose your rewards. Ways to get adept weapons without flawless, adept material that can only be obtained by flawless, grandmaster completion, or hard mode raid / dungeon. Good looking ornaments only for flawless. That would be kind of cool.
To add on to that one that we talked about a while back about the 7 wins getting you to the lighthouse regardless of losses, they did say that each to make it semi where people want to go to it more. One thing I saw was have the chest that is not the flawless chest, the other chest, be able to be opened. So really, if you go flawless, you get double loot pools. That other chest give some kind of spoils of conquest like thing for trials, and for every 7 wins you go back to the lighthouse each weekend, you get those spoils and you could use it to pick your weapon a little bit. Kind of way they have it at the end of the raid right now in Deepstone Crypt.
As long as I'm not picking adept weapons, I think that'd be fucking great.
Yeah. I would play the shit out of 7 wins if I could know I can keep picking Igneous Hammer until I get the roll I want.
Yeah. That'd be good.
I think I would prefer if it was just a split between weapons and armor, and it should just be split for whatever is on the card that weekend. Personally, that's just how I feel. I don't like that I can get certain things still in my loot pool. But that's me. So again, more people asking for in-game drops not tied to loot, not loot tied to tokens and wins. I'd agree with that. So wait, has anyone gotten things like Frozen Orbit from Trials matches at all?
I don't know.
Is that a thing? Because if not, that should definitely be a thing.
Increase Crucible drops in the Trials playlist?
Should happen.
That'd be nice, yeah.
You'd have the people that are trying to get a certain Frozen Orbits in there. Fun fact, thrown out to us by Ace Megatron in our clan, he told us about how, let me see if I remember this right, high impact reserves on the Frozen Orbit in a Empowering Rift will kill anything body shot at all resiliences? Or was that right, Chance, or was there something else?
Yes, it body shots all resiliences.
It body shots all resiliences. There you go. So, farm your high impact reserve Frozen Orbit and sit in your Powering Rift and just wreck people royally. Shoot them with that anti-tank gun.
Final round all over again.
There are some ridiculous ones, like people asking for freelance. No, absolutely not. LFG yourself a fire team or join a clan. That's my take. Make friends. Reddit's a thing.
Be social.
I mean, this is my one big pet peeve on Reddit. Um, constantly see things where people are like, "Oh, raids need matchmaking," or like, "Oh, grandmasters should have matchmaking," or like,
Absolutely
which
not
I
on the
honestly,
Grandmasters.
no, I believe the other tiers below it should though, but because they're not really anything overly like over the top crazy, you know. However, no, it happened the same thing with Iron Banner. People begged for freelance because they're like, "Oh, well, I'm getting tired of getting squashed by sixes." With the amount of people that were complaining about getting squished by like fire teams, you could have made several fire teams over. So why not just make friends? Like, I, I don't like the idea of splitting
I can
the
see
pool
both sides of the coin. For
especially
Grandmasters,
for
I
some.
say no.
No,
Trials,
no, it's endgame. It's the equivalent to
so is
raids
Banner.
and grandmasters.
And
They've said that,
without
but
any major
realistically,
changes to it, what's different than the Elim playlist right now and the Trials, other than the gear and loot sources and all that?
I'd say the power requirement is the only difference.
The power requirement. Okay, so make it where there's either you have to be a certain power level to make it where they have to be 1300 to get in, and you will have people. It'll be fine. You won't have people. You won't have people creating fake accounts and cheating people off after they get banned.
I mean, as long as they don't split the playlist, like
so
freelance
you're
trials,
worried about that.
good.
There are still aimbotters on PC. So
True.
freelance at that point turns into I'm just going to aimbot the entire team and I'm just going to carry whoever I'm with to my flawless. It doesn't. If anything, that's going to make freelance even worse. Not a fan. I just fire team up. It's not hard. Stop trying to play a game that is like an MMO, quote unquote, by yourself. Play Call of Duty if you want to play PvP by yourself. People suggesting changing Elim to survival instead. No, thank you. Personally, no thank you.
What about changing Elim or Trials to Showdown?
Absolutely fucking not. I hated Showdown.
Have you played Showdown? I think we're talking about two different.
Yes, I did, because it was part of the stupid thing for this season, and I hated it.
The 3-win,
did not like
3v3. If you get a kill, you can revive your team, and it takes away their point.
Nope, didn't like it. I like Elim.
Chance, what about you? What do you think of Showdown replacing Elim?
I think I'm fine with Showdown, but I don't think it should replace Elim. I feel like it's cool to stay in Elim.
We fought this hard to get Elim. Just leave it alone.
But yeah, like we went through like hell and back over so many game modes just to get it.
Fair enough. I'm outvoted.
I just don't like it. People suggesting to make it tiered. If you've already gone flawless already, you can only queue against other flawless teams. That would be punishing people who go flawless, though.
You wouldn't be. You'd have people that wouldn't be willing to help play other players go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would that work if like I went flawless and Tibber didn't, and we wanted to play? Does that mean like the card with Tibber means I have to play all flawless people? Like that's kind of awful for him. Like
Mm-hmm.
That would take forever too.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Loot drops after every match, win or lose. I mean, we've seen that already.
So a lot of these are honestly like consensus views almost. If we were going to summarize what we've all seen, a lot of these are the same things over and over. And while some are good takes, some are questionable. Skill-based matchmaking, it's one of those things like, okay, history time. My dad's a history teacher, so I know stuff. Back during, I want to say it was World War II, they had planes coming back, and they would inspect them to see where the holes were on the wings. And at first, they were like, this is where we should reinforce them. so that way they don't get holes there. And he's the one man, totally blanking on his name now, said no, we should reinforce where there aren't holes, because where there aren't holes, that means the plane was shot down and didn't make it. And when they did that, they started seeing that more planes were actually making it back from missions and whatnot. It's that way with trials. You're looking at it and you're thinking, oh, the people I'm playing are so sweaty, I should be playing people my own skill level. That's only going to get sweatier. If a match is sweaty, they are your skill level because they're playing just as good as you are. Because, in theory, whenever you go into a trials match, you're going to be giving it your all. You're going to be full all in. If you get curb stomped, well, that's because they were better than you. And if you win outright and you want to have an easy match, well, that's because you were better than them. So by making it skill-based matchmaking, every match is going to be a sweat fest for you. You're not going to have any of those easy matches here and there. But you're also not going to get curb stomped either. So be careful what you wish for, basically.
Connection-based is the way. I look at it as why. So like, I talked about it last week. Look, what brought trials put Destiny on the map. Like it was hyped up originally, and all that, this, that, and the other thing. But it brought it to prominence almost. Why reinvent the wheel? There's a lot. There's a lot that the original trials did right, and there was no reason to change it. So why not just bring a lot of that back? Because that's what people like. Obviously, it did super well. You can look at Twitch. You can look at Destiny's popularity as a whole. It's really intrinsically tied to things like trials and raids. So, there's no need to reinvent the circle wheel and be like, here's this square wheel instead. It's better.
It's got more shinies.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. Let's end it here. Chance. Final words on skill-based versus connection-based, because that's where the most of the debate went tonight.
One sec. I definitely, me personally, I prefer connection. I feel like that's just the best course of action, because we've seen what skill-based does to like this game population over the years. We've seen it when they introduced it, I think, in House of Wolves or whatever, something like that, or some point in there.
House of Wolves was connection. It was
what? It was Taken King then, I think. It was around there.
Taken King switched to skill based, and then I think they ended up swapping to almost the current system that we have now, but it was still they really messed with it later on, and I forget what they ended up doing, but I know it was originally connection based matchmaking.
Yeah, when they swapped to skill, it destroyed the game for a lot of people, myself included. I mean, I still played it obviously, but still, I feel like that's just not, even in just like a concentrated playlist like Trials. I think that's just not the way to go. I think it's just way better to go connection, prioritize your connection before anything else.
There you go. Well, that's going to be us. Yeah. Let's try that again. And that's going to be it for us here at 7CR. I'm Tibbercat, the Titan main. If you want to catch me live, you can find me at twitch.tv/Tibbercat. I'm Tibbercat on Twitch, TikTok, post a clip every now and then. I hit those occasionally. And Tibbercat on Twitter if you want to chat with me there. Fates, where can they find you at?
Fates_Pyro pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. I do have something to say after we're done kind of wrapping up, just to kind of put a bow on it. But chances up.
Chance, where are they going to find you at?
You can find me, Agashooter9, on Twitter and Instagram.
All right. So I have a special request. I should have probably brought it up beforehand. But next week, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks, yes.
2 weeks from now. Stream On Nation is running we are running a charity event for the National Autism Association. we'll be able to kind of link, you know, what's going on there. Super great organization, week-long event kind of thing. You know, great organization. Really good cause. They help a lot of people. So, you know, I just wanted to kind of bring it up at the end here.
Yes, we'll talk about that. We'll give a lot more info of that on the next episode. It hadn't slipped my mind.
No, I just was like, we should bring it up.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it next episode, and because Stream On Nation is is the streaming group that me and Fates are part of. So we do a lot of work with them, a lot of feedback back and forth. So that's gonna be it for us here. Thank y'all for hanging out again, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.